Hello, my name is Nia Castleman. This is my presentation of leadership theory and practice. The leadership theory that I selected was authentic leadership. What is authentic leadership? Well, a Harvard professor by the name of author Bill George, along with some colleagues, conducted a survey about leadership development. And they did this by interviewing 125 business leaders of diverse backgrounds in terms of race, religion, and nationality, in order to understand how and what makes leaders become authentic and how they remain so. The survey was done in light of the global leadership crisis that has surfaced in the past few years. The findings of the survey was that authentic leaders are not born. You do not need to be a top executive in your organization, nor do you have to be born with special traits to be an authentic leader. Anyone, anyone from race, creed, or religious can develop into an authentic leader first by understanding their life stories and learning from their experiences instead of being a passive observer. Quoted by Bill George. So, define leadership. Leadership is the act of guiding, directing, showing the way towards something. A leader can be someone who leads an organization, a group of people, or any other type of organization. A leader must have the ability to guide but influence those around them. What are the effective traits of being an authentic leader? This type of leader unites and builds strong teams, creates meaning in work, and fosters an environment where people thrive and people believe in themselves without being judged. This and these examples are what defines being an authentic leader. But in order to build the trust, one way the leaders can be authentic is by modeling themselves authentic, transparent traits. Leaders who abide by the approach believe that by being and behaving transparently, they will give a model that their team could respect and buy into. So, according to Bill George, there are 5 basic characteristics, and I'm going to go over those characteristics. Number 1, purpose, defined with passion. Passion to work, to be more, and to also motivate yourself to care and strengthily about the work that you do. Values, which are your behavior. Authentic leaders must have their own values and they never compromise what they believe in, what their principles are. It's about relationships and how we connect with the world and those that we work with in teams. It's also about having self-discipline, which requires a level of consistency, right? And in being consistent, you establish a trust amongst those that you lead. But you also have to have this special ingredient, which is a heart of compassion. Yes, compassion. An authentic leader has a heart that shows his compassion. An authentic leader is always sensible about the needs and emotions of others. My favorite. So when you look at these core concepts of what an authentic leader possess, their traits, we want to look at how there are 3 actual phases that can be developed in the process of becoming and attaining authentic leadership. So you have stage 1, which is age 30, right? And then stage or phase 2, which is anywhere from 30 260, and then there's phase 3. Now, phase 3 is the most important phase because at this phase, a leader can encourage and become a mentor. This is someone who serves on the board. This is someone who is very active in nonprofits or organizations as a leader. So I had to look at an individual of my choice who demonstrated poor ethical judgment. And the person that I decided to do it on was Donald John Trump. So Donald Trump, during his 2016 primary season, Trump defeated more than a dozen seasoned rivals to win the Republican nomination. And his theme was to make America great. Well, a red flag for myself was that his poor ethical judgment began when Trump's net worth was questioned over the course of his 2016 presidential run, and he courted controversy after refusing to release his tax returns while they were being audited by the IRS. Wow. Is that authentic and transparent? Also, you want to look in the fall of 2019, after Trump admitted to misusing money raised by his foundation to promote his presidential campaign and settle debts. He was ordered to pay $2 million in damages, and the foundation was forced to shut its doors. Ethical? Leader? Not quite. Another thing that stood out for me is Trump, who was the first billionaire to run and ascend to presidency. He took the mantle in 2017. He defied the near universal advice from ethics specialists themselves and refused to divest from his international business empire after being ethically canceled on that. So the outcomes for perceived motivation, I believe, is overconfidence, the tendency to be more confident in one's own moral character, the tendency to make ethical misjudgment that can lead to big, huge ethical mistakes, the tendency to process information in a way that serves to support their own pre-existing beliefs and motives. This was defined for me through Donald Trump. His behavior weakened the culture and the environment of its time. His inability to develop good relationships with China, Pakistan, countries, and the United States gradually was moved forward with dictatorship rather than being an authentic leader who possessed authentic traits. What was more devastating was he created more devastating conditions during COVID-19 in the situation and managed it wrongly only because of poor negotiation skills, a high sense of self. I believe that Donald Trump's extensive international business holdings mean he will have to decide and make decisions as a leader of the U.S. that also affects his business. That was a primary motivation for him. The Trump Organization is an umbrella company for Donald Trump's hundreds and thousands of investments of real estate. Number 5, the impact of Trump's administration's poor ethical decisions on our environment. The pre-existing environmental and social factors have a great impact on communities and society. For example, education, community safety, community health. My overall opinion of Donald Trump: for decades, the Republican Party has brought together strong proponents of national security with social and pro-business conservationships. President Trump, on the other hand, has redefined the Republican Party and rejected some of its traditions. The political world in 2016 got stunned when Donald Trump became the first person who selected as a president of the United States without having any experience in government or military. His 4 years in the White House exposed numerous schemes in American society, but he left no doubt that he is a character unlike any other country's history. Thank you.